Yeah, without a doubt. If you apply yourself and don't show your fanny to the senior techs, that's something they don't understand. They love to, I don't know, they like to what? Tell you how to do it. I
Right.
saw Bob do it this way. Well, Bob taught you wrong. No, he didn't. Well, yes, he did.
Yeah, I could see how that would be difficult, especially. Well, these kids, are they coming from trade school or are they coming from just out of nowhere?
Trade school, yeah.
So they had
Yep.
to learn the right way somewhat, right? When they get there, do you find that the trade schools have taught them something that you think is correct, or is there stuff you have to correct?
Well, the last 2 years they haven't had any shop class. There's been no lab because of
Oh,
the beer flu. They haven't
the
been
beer
able to
flu.
get out into the lab and use anything.
So these kids are going through trade school without actually physically performing the trade.
Pretty much, from what I understand, they just get on their computers and go through computer training labs on the computer.
What is the
And
difference between doing that and going to YouTube and just watching someone do it?
that's funny you brought that up. I watched a video the other day on vapor barriers and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
We're in the home performance where we do, and I sent it over to my boss, and I said, "You ever seen this guy?" He said, "Yeah, I watched some of his stuff." And then he texted me back. He says, "You want to give a class on that tomorrow?" We have Tuesday class company meetings. It's like, dude, I haven't got my YouTube certificate on this yet.
That's funny. So he wanted you to do like a class based on you watching it on YouTube.
Yeah, it's like, you want to cover that for like 20 or 30 minutes tomorrow? It's like, no, you're the home performance expert. Why don't you do it? Teach me something.
You need to get that Corbett. That Corbett. It's funny. Okay, get this. All right, you have Corbett. You know the guy I'm talking about, Corbett Lunsford.
Yeah,
All right,
yeah.
so you have Corbett Lunsford, who is this guru at home performance, who really has no trade background at all. He comes out of nowhere and learns the home performance stuff, and now he's like a boss with this stuff. He goes in and teaches people how to do it, but he didn't even come from the trade. He like
Wow.
became a tradesman out of nothing, which is kind of like the reverse from what we're
Yeah,
talking about with these kids that come up and then all of a sudden they're trying to be tradesmen and they're just not built for it. It's just strange.
yeah.
Corbett, you think, wouldn't be built for it, but he made it happen.
Yeah, he's not too far from me.
Oh, that's
Down here in
right.
Georgia, Atlanta, South Atlanta. I think he's down there somewhere.
Well, have you gone to Bill Spone's house he's building down there?
No.
I think it's in Atlanta. He's building his. Well, I don't. Well, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's Corbett's house. It's in Atlanta. Maybe I should
Yeah.
rethink that. Maybe Bill's Pennsylvania.
Hmm.
Let me change this line of questioning. Let me redo this.
Okay,
So
back up.
have you met Corbett personally?
No, I have not.
No.
Not that I remember anyway.
You know what? I've interviewed him before, Steve, but whenever I was at AHR, he walked right by, and I was like, "Hey, Corbett," and just kept going. I
Wow.
don't think he heard me, actually. I don't think it was anything like, I'm not talking to that guy. Although I do understand that. I mean, just looking at myself in the mirror, I was like, hey, people should keep walking. Look at this person they're looking at. He looks like a
Yeah.
mountain person that's
Well,
lost.
speaking of him, we had a technician that was with us for about 2 years and just didn't quite have the HVAC aptitude for the mechanical side of things. So he left and kind of bounced around a little bit and ended up with Corbett, and he's been learning under him for about the last 2 or 3 years. He's gone and bought his blower door test and or his blower door and all everything that you need, the draft hoods and flow hoods and the grids, and he's running around South Florida, Georgia, Alabama, testing homes. So, and he loves it. So he's found his niche in the industry.
What's the
I'm
difference?
watching.
What's the difference between what Corbett does and what you do that he excels at that, but not at what you do?
The guy that left us, you're talking about?
Yeah, I mean, what do you think the difference is? Why did he go to this other place, work for Corbett? All of a sudden, he's flourishing, whereas when he was a tech, he wasn't.
I I just don't think he had the mechanical. Once again, kind of goes back to the pipe wrenches. He just never got that down. You know,
Yeah,
adjustable wrenches, channel locks. It's like, no, you can't always keep it in the same slot. You got bigger pipes. You got to open your jaws up on your channel locks. You know, and just couldn't get it. Couldn't get it. And he was always striving. I mean, I like the guy. He calls me all the time. but when he was in his entry level with us, going through the superheat and subcool and the gas pressures and learning combustion analysis, he was watching real super high end stuff and taking tests on super high end stuff when he didn't even have superheat and subcool down. He was going off on this other chillers and watching chiller stuff.
Mm.
So I think he just had the mind frame of doing bigger stuff, and I guess to him, blower door and home performance testing is he loves it, so that's great. We need people out there to do it.
Yeah, I think so, especially now these days. That's going to be a bigger and bigger deal as time goes by. What I was thinking about when you were saying that stuff, I was thinking about when I ask people what their favorite tool is and I get the answer. You know what I found? That the people with the mechanical inclination, the people that are really fired up by just getting their hands on stuff and working on stuff, are the people that answer like the wrench, that's their favorite. Like whatever you hear, like, well, this Knipex thing is my favorite. It's like, all right, this is a mechanic. This is a mechanic. When they say, yeah, there you go. So it's like, well, I got a pliers wrench I really like. It's like, okay, well, this is a mechanic right here. They say there's this set of, I don't know, whatever, Milwaukee sockets that I think is great, or impact sockets. And you hear someone say that, it's like, all right, this is a mechanic guy. This is a guy who likes to take stuff apart. And then you have a guy who picks like technology. And it's just like a little bit different. Not bad, not better or worse, just different than the mechanic stuff.